Once upon a time, in the beautiful island of Sicily situated in Italy, there stood a majestic tall and active stratovolcano named Mount Etna. It was one of Europe's tallest active volcanoes and the tallest peak in Italy south of the Alps, with its current height of 3,357 meters and an area of 1,190 square kilometers. The imposing volcano dominated the cities of Messina and Catania, with its beauty and power captivating many. Interestingly, its height kept varying with summit eruptions, making it all the more fascinating. During a recent 6-month eruption in 2021, tourists from all over the world flocked to the volcano to witness its awe-inspiring display of power. Not only did it offer a breathtaking sight, but it was also discovered that its height had increased by approximately 100 feet, making the southeastern crater the tallest part of the volcano. People were amazed by just how dynamic nature could be and how the volcano could alter its shape so drastically. In ancient Greek mythology, it was believed that Mount Etna was where the deadly monster, Typhon, was trapped by Zeus, the god of the sky, thunder, and king of gods. The forges of Hephaestus were said to be located underneath the giant volcano. Hence, the volcano was of great mythological significance. Apart from its mythological value, Mount Etna was one of the world's most active volcanoes and on the brink of eruption almost constantly. The fertile volcanic soils surrounding the mountain supported extensive agriculture, with vineyards and orchards spreading across the lower slopes of the mountain and the broad plain of Catania to the south. Due to its frequent eruptions in the nearby population, Mount Etna also had a special status assigned to it by the United Nations as a decade volcano and was listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 2013. The volcano was a nature lover's paradise and attracted many for its beauty and power. Mount Etna, the active volcano in Sicily, has always been a place of wonder, shrouded in mythology and legends. One of the most interesting stories about its name is that it comes from the Greek word alpha theta omega, meaning, I burn. Others believe that it might have originated from the Phoenician word Etna, which means furnace or chimney. The volcano is known as Etna in Latin and Jabal al-Nar in Arabic. According to Greek and Roman mythology, the god of blacksmithing, Vulcan, had his forge located under Mount Etna. The Sicilian name for the volcano is Monsibio, while in Italian, it is known as Mongabello or Montebello. Some say that Mongabello comes from the Latin Mulciber, one of the names of the Roman god Vulcan. Others believe that it is a combination of the Italian word monte, meaning mountain, and the Arabic word jabal, which also means mountain. Today, Mongabello is used to refer to the part of Mount Etna that contains the central craters and the craters positioned southeast and northeast of the volcanic cone. In Arthurian romance, Mount Etna also appears as the location of the otherworld castle of Morgan le Fay and King Arthur, under the name Mungibel. In Welsh mythology, a dwarf king ruled a paradisal Celtic underworld that became attached to the quasi-historic figure of Arthur as the ruler of the antipodes. The Bretons then transplanted these stories into a Sicilian milieu. Gervas of Tilbury and Caesarius of Heisterbach wrote accounts of Arthur returning a lost horse that had strayed into his subterranean kingdom beneath Etna. Caesarius quotes a certain canon Godescalcus of Bonn, who considered it a matter of historical fact. In Joffre, the only surviving Arthurian romance in the Occitan language, the fairy queen Fada de Gibel appears, and the rich underworld queendom is accessed through a fountain. In conclusion, Mount Etna has a rich mythology behind its name, and it is an intriguing place that has captivated people for centuries. Etna, the massive active volcano in Europe, has been a source of fascination and terror for locals and tourists alike. With its over 300 vents of different sizes, this mount is renowned for its frequent and stunning eruptions that can happen both at the summit and on the flanks. Summit eruptions, which occur at 5 specific craters, are usually spectacular but pose little harm to the nearby areas. On the other hand, flank eruptions, happening at lower elevations and closer to the surrounding villages, can be much more dangerous. In fact, since AD 1600, at least 60 eruptions have happened on Etna's flanks, leading to significant damage and loss. Despite the risk, many people living near Etna have learned to coexist with the volcano and have developed a deep admiration for this natural wonder. Tourists from all over the world flock to see the mountain's beauty, taking guided tours to admire the sceneries and learn about the geology and history of the place. In recent years, Etna has brought both awe and fear to the locals and visitors. The new millennium alone has seen 4 flank eruptions and several summit eruptions, including one in February 2021 that released ash and lava but did not cause major damages. Despite the occasional threats, Etna remains a majestic force of nature, reminding us of the beauty and power of the Earth's inner workings. Once upon a time, Mount Etna was just a quiet underwater volcano off the coast of Sicily. But about 500,000 years ago, it began to erupt and move towards the present center of the island. As volcanic activity built up, it formed a stratovolcano which has since become the highest and most active in Europe. Between 35,000 to 15,000 years ago, the mountain experienced highly explosive eruptions that produced large pyroclastic flows. These flows left extensive deposits of ignimbrite as far as 800 kilometers north of South Rome's border. Catastrophic collapses also reshaped the mountain's eastern flank, creating a large depression called Valle del Bove. This valley has seen additional collapses on several occasions, providing a visible record of Etna's eruptive history. The most recent collapse occurred about 2,000 years ago, creating what is known as the Piano Caldera. Subsequent lava eruptions have filled the caldera, which now forms a distinct break in the slope of the mountain near the base of the present-day summit cone. Today, Mount Etna is still on the move. It is currently sliding towards the Mediterranean Sea at the average pace of 14 mm per year on an unconsolidated layer over older sloping terrain. Despite its tumultuous history, Mount Etna remains a fascinating natural wonder and a popular tourist destination.
Do you want to explore more Greek mythology stories? Who do you want to see featured next? Subscribe and leave a comment below to let me know. I'll see you in the next video.